Okay. Guys, you know her. You love her. Yeah, if you haven't heard of her, you've been living under a rock the last couple of weeks. But I'm so happy I could snag her today for a little chat. Welcome to the show, Miss Lilly Gaddis from her car.
We're finally back with no technical difficulties, and hopefully the storm won't completely tank everything, right?
We tried to be on time. But so close to Juneteenth, we figured we would just celebrate the holiday late and start
Mhm.
the show late.
It's an
And
homage.
it's an homage. Yeah, we're not on time, we're in time. But my God, you've certainly had a very busy couple of weeks. I'm sure you've all seen Lily's TikToks by now. And like you've got you just had a pretty wild ride. You had these viral couple of TikToks. You were fired from your job. You were banned from TikTok. You said, "Guys, don't come after my job." Like, I don't know what your relationship was with your boss. Good for you though for defending her and saying like, "Don't go after my former employer," because nobody I've ever worked for, like aside from Compound Media. Every other person I've worked for in my regular day job life, I had 15 years of working in corporate jobs. I'd be like, "Fuck them," you know what I mean? I'd be like,
Mhm.
"Go ahead." I'd be like, because I've just been fired a lot, and clearly I have a chip on my shoulder. But you were nice, and you were like, "Don't go after my former employer." Um, God, then you got how many Twitter followers are you up to now? 100,000 or so?
It's something like that, yeah.
130,000 followers in maybe a week.
Mhm.
Um, just like tell me how you're feeling. Like, and all the while getting shit on a lot. A lot of people coming after you for not being, I guess, what they hoped you would be, what they thought you would be. Just tell me what your like thoughts and feelings are over this whole ride for you so
Right.
far.
I mean, it's kind of like crazy because I had like the whole normal thing. I went to college, got out, got the entry level like marketing job and whatever. Had everything kind of like figured out, and then that like got nuked overnight. For my own, like, that was my own fault. Like, I should have known. I think whenever you are like, you don't know about this whole kind of world, you're very naive. So I went into it like, I had a decent amount of little followers on my TikTok and whatever, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna make some like videos talking about things that like a lot of people relate with. It wasn't like super political. It was more just kind of common sense takes on like cultural issues and some politics sprinkled in there. Never thought it would like go off like this. I was always like, well, I'll red pill like the little followers that I have, but it's never gonna go anywhere. So I just was very naive. I misjudged the situation. Had a couple of them, like you said, they kind of just blew up for whatever reason. And kind of tossed me into this world. I'm not upset about it though, because I had always like I'd listen to people like I listened to Compound Media, I listened to Censored TV. I always thought you were funny. That's why I followed you. So I was like, oh, she's funny.
Oh,
And but yeah, I was never like super involved in politics or whatever. Just kind of like on the outskirts listening. I think now that I've gotten thrown into this, it's like, it's kind of wild, but you get used to it and you roll with the punches. So I'm just trying to figure out, okay, where do I go from here? Like I'm basically unemployable now, and it just takes one
no, don't
Google
say
search,
that.
just one Google search. So yeah, we're just trying to figure it out. Like, where do we go from
Do
here?
you even want like would you want to if you could undo the last couple of months, would you just to be, what you think is employable? I don't think you're unemployable, but would you undo it all?
You know what? I don't think so. Like, I think in any time, like even mistakes that I've made in my life and whatever, it's like when I think about it, I'm like, well, if would I do undo that? Because no, I don't think I would. Because you always, with all the bad, there's always some good, And I think things are meant to be. And we are in a bad place in our country where you can't say anything. Like the fact that this blew up and it was nothing. It wasn't racist. It wasn't even anything crazy. Like the video was just very just like vanilla. But the fact that
Which video?
we're in,
The one where you're like broke ass N words?
yeah, The fact that people freaked out over that just goes to show like what a bad place we are in our country.
Did
You
you
know?
mean it did you mean it like guys in the general sense, or did you mean like
Yes.
all my friends are with, like, broke black dudes?
No,
Okay.
actually, no, no. All my friends are just married to normal dudes. They're just normal broke dudes. But no,
Okay.
it wasn't meant racially at all. Actually, like
Okay.
I hadn't even noticed I had said that until I started getting all the comments, and I was like, oh my god, did I say that?
You're like, "I've been saying the N-word like how we say y'all," you know?
Yes,
Just
yes,
everyone.
exactly, exactly.
That's funny. I don't know a lot of people, well, that use the word that way. Whatever. I not that I'm, like, afraid of it. I have a very good friend named Gino Visconti, also on Compound Media, who he always says, like, "Words only have as much power as you give them," and I believe in that. Like, I don't really go around saying it, I guess, 'cause I don't really wanna get punched in the head or,
Right,
people are already pepper spraying me at shows, so, but no, I don't know. If there was if it was really called for, like, if I had a very funny joke where I needed to say it, I'd be like, "Sure," but, um I do believe that words only have the power that you give to them, and if a word has the power to, like, rile you up to the point of violence, then I think you should really take a look at yourself, because
right,
I always say we're only as strong as our triggers, and if a single word can trigger you to, act poorly, then that's on you, that's not on the word or the person who says the word, because that
right.
means you can be controlled in a sense, so I thought that was funny, and it just you've had such a ride, and then, what does your, like, family think of this? Are you an only child?
No, I have four brothers, so
Okay.
yeah, they were not pleased. They were not pleased at first. They're trying to get into they want to be country singers, so they felt like I would be a liability to that a little bit.
They're probably
But
jealous because they're like, "We wanted to go viral," and you're like, "You could say the N word in a song, but nothing's stopping you from doing that."
right, no, they it's, at first there's a little because we're not used to this. Like I didn't realize how I'd always heard about like doxing and calling people up and death threats and all that, but like you don't realize it till it happens to you. So yeah, they were all like taken aback, but then they get over it and we have all rallied together, so we're all fine now.
So you have multiple brothers who all wanna be country singers.
Well, two of them want to be country singers.
Do they wanna team up, or do they wanna compete against each other?
Don't know. I don't think that I haven't seen the business plan yet. It's
You
they're just
have they given you a demo tape? Okay.
no.
Wow, okay. And what does the other one wanna be?
He's not sure yet.
Okay.
Mhm.
Alright. It's funny. I mean, it's not funny to get death threats. I've gotten
Right.
some, but then you realize you're like, "Oh, these it's all talk."
Right.
Most people are full of hot air. Even people who've called in death threats to, like, my phone or, like, gotten a relative's phone number and called in some kinda
Right.
nasty it's like then you're like, "Oh, this person lives in Iowa. I'll never see this person. They'll never, uh, be part of my real life." It's just but it is a little scary at first.
Mhm.
So you go viral, you get all these followers, you go on shows, and then how do you end up at the, was it the America First, political action campaign? That's like what festival, like, what is it called?
Yeah.
How did you go? Did you wanna go to that? Did someone reach out to you about going to that?
Yeah, so I didn't even know that that was happening. I had always heard like I'd heard about the Turning Point Afpac or whatever, but like I say, I'd always been political and like outspoken, but I'd never been like I know a lot of people are part of like the Turning Point chapter at their colleges or whatever in the Young Republicans. I was never like a part of those kind of clubs. So I was like curious to see what it was, like what's America First. Like I knew about like Nick Fuentes and whatever. I never listened to his show per se, but I kind of like knew of him. And then I heard America First, and I was like, hell yeah, that's what we need more in this country is America First. So I was like, I'm gonna go up there and check it out. And I was invited to like join a group of people. So I was like, okay, cool, because obviously I'm not gonna go by myself. So I kind of just tagged along with my group. We went to Turning Point for like an hour, and then we ended up going to Afpac, and that was like a lot of craziness. I not what I expected it to be, but it was fun.
What did you expect?
I don't know. I guess I expected it to be more like I just didn't was not prepared for the whole culture of the America First movement, which I did not know that's what it was about. I thought it was like, the young
More
Republicans.
broad? Okay.
Right.
I've never been to an America First thing. I went to only one Turning Point, thing back in December in Phoenix. That
Okay.
was pretty cool, and I got invited to go to that, and I was shocked. I was like, "Little old me." And then I
Mhm.
ended up, renting a media table, and I did live streaming from there because I was like, "I don't wanna
Okay.
go and just, like, walk around." I was like, "I feel like I need to be doing something." So I just and I was pregnant, so I was like it was hard for me to walk and carry all my equipment, but I had a couple friends helping me. But it is a little it's funny. It's there's kind of 2 sides to it. Like you could go as a kind of regular person taking it all in, but there's this sense of like, oh, if you want to be on the inside circle and sort of climb the ranks and be a speaker, then you do have to kind of um, you know, it's political. Yeah, it's about who
Yeah.
you know. It's about how you behave, who likes you, who doesn't like you. Um it's interesting. There's and you in a couple of your videos, you talk about cliques, like high school, like these people that like Fauci and Gates, they're the
Yeah.
nerds that back in high school who didn't get laid, and now they're trying to take over the world, and they're drunk with power. It's if only someone could have blown them in high school, we'd all be better off by now. But then you grow up and you realize, like, there are cliques in every industry. There's cliques in the comedy world. There's cliques among YouTubers. There are cliques at uh, these events, and, you kind of, like, I guess, hang around the scene long enough, you'll have people that'll misunderstand you purposely or by accident, and then you'll have people who will kind of do you wrong, and you won't be able to explain it to them. They'll just kind of write you off, and it'll be unfair, and that's life, so you just kinda have to, like, wade through it, and I feel like that's kind of what you went through. Like, people see you, they looked at your TikToks, they're like, "Oh, she's gorgeous, she's in an apron, she's wearing a cross necklace, like, I'm listening," and then when you weren't exactly what they thought you would be, they, you know, came after you for being a single mom, like, came after you for who knows what, and, I guess I feel you on that because I've had people come after me for, "Oh god, how dare you have a baby, over the age of 35," or like, "How dare you get married," well, really, it's mostly Pearl who,
Uh-oh.
no, we'll make up one day, I think. Who kn Probably not. She hates me. She I asked her on the podcast, she said
Half usually do not call.
she won't come on the podcast for less than $5,000. So, I was like, "Well, I don't have Pearl money." I was like, "I have some old Dunkin' Donuts coupons in the bottom
Yeah.
of my purse, but that's about it." So, anyway, I feel for you, like, I saw people kind of, like, coming after you, like, angry that you were not this perfect thing or, like, this perfect trad wife or mother or anything because those things aren't real. I think the number of people who perfectly fit into that box is so few,
Yeah.
it's not even worth discussing, and those people are not even online. You wanna find the most trad wife and mom, they're not online, they don't have Twitter accounts, they're probably Amish, so
Mhm.
what's
Yeah,
the
I know
point?
that is strange. Like, and that's something I did not know about, like, the whole internet. And I guess it's how people like idolize celebrities or whatever. They just kind of like project whatever on them, and which is kind of weird because then I'm sitting back here like, wait a minute. I've never said I was a trad wife. I've never set myself up to be like definitely I'm not a role model. I'm just like a normal person who's like shit's happened in my life. I've made mistakes and I've whatever. But yeah, it is kind of weird when people like want you to be this or that, and I'm like, I just kind of like I'm just doing my own thing, and if you like it, cool. If you don't, block me.
Do you feel like, when you were getting some of this hate, like, would people say, "Oh, you led us astray because you said this or that," like, do you feel like you misspoke at all, or do you, like, do you wish you could go back and, like, change any of your videos, or you feel like clarify anything, or you're just like,
No,
fuck
my
it?
videos, like, that's just what I think, you know. So my videos, I would not change that. Now, as far as like the like you were talking about with the clicks, like even with the America First thing, I didn't realize that if you even like talk to somebody in another tribe or whatever, then the other people are mad. I didn't know that that's how it was.
Oh
I
god.
assumed you could, like, you know, oh, I'm just gonna go check out this and I'll go check out that, you know, and then if you go there, you're a Nazi. If you go here, you're a shill for
What
Israel
are
or what.
the Okay, what are the competing tribes that you can't, like, commingle in?
I think the two big ones is like the Turning Point and then the Afpac. That seems to be a big one. And since I went
I
to
would
both,
think that they would be together. Shouldn't they have the same goals?
that's what I thought. I just assumed I thought Afpac was like a little bit more radical Turning Point. I didn't
Okay.
realize it was like complete. Like I have put my foot in my mouth in so many instances just because I did not know how things worked, and I would talk to this person, talk to that person, and then that's a big no no from somebody else. But
How could they expect you to know? How would, like, you know what I mean?
again, I think it's
Who
this
would know
projection
this?
of like, I guess people just assume that I like knew all about this, but I genuinely just went in blind and naive and stupid, and I've since learned like, oh wow, this is how it works. But you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, that just speaks, and no one should have expected you to know all this dumb inside baseball. I still don't know it, and I've been
Right.
sort of, I don't know, when did I sort of wake up? 2018? I still don't really know,
Hmm.
like, who's who, but I'm also coming from the comedy world and not the political world or whatever.
Right.
Um, okay, so then the America First people come at you. Why? Because you're a single mom, or is that it? Was that all?
I think that was just like fodder for them. Like that was striking gold. Like, you know, you catch that and you're like, perfect. Like we can just basically discredit everything she says. And I don't really get why they cared. Like me going up to Afpac was not me trying to become a groiper. You know, like everybody just
How
assumes
does
they're.
one become a groiper? Do you have to get a certain amount of, like, merit badges? Is it like, what's the process like? Do you have to do a
I don't
trust
know.
fall? I didn't know there was a process.
I don't know, but the way they were acting was as if I was like trying to rush their fraternity and they were trying to like make sure I wasn't like a plant or whatever.
Oh.
So
But you're a
yeah,
woman. I don't know, I don't think there are female groypers. At first I
no.
thought that they were groupers, which, and then I'm like, I looked up what is a groyper, but I had spelled it grouper, and all these fish pictures came up, and I was like,
Oh
"Wow,
yeah,
I'm not doing this right." I'm like like
yeah.
I'm like, "Look at these fishy boys." Okay, so I didn't think anyone could join if you were a female. I didn't think that was
Right.
allowed.
That's how they were acting. Like I was like, dude, I'm just up here taking it all in, you know. I'm just trying to see like who these people are, what all these little subsects of the right are. And yeah, but no, they loved the single mom thing. Like obviously I'm not like pretending to be like again a role model or whatever. Like yeah, I fucked up. Duh. Duh.
Well, why do you
You know,
have to be a role model? Like, why does anybody with a Twitter handle have to be a role model? Like, why does anybody with a certain number of followers have to be
yeah.
a role model?
I don't know.
Like
I'm just
like
kind of like
OJ 's a role model. Like,
no,
he's
exactly.
popular. He's still a
I know, and I think there's like the way I see it is there's a lot of representation for like the perfect girls. You know, there's like the who is it? Like Lauren Chin, she's one that comes to mind for
the
like the
too
perfect
perfect. She
people.
is stunning and
Yeah,
makes good content, and she's a
right,
beautiful child.
right.
Yeah, and she has little angel wings. No, she's
Yeah,
stunning. I watched her I'm friendly with her, and I met her for the first time. She was checking into the hotel at the Turning Point thing. She had not a stitch of makeup on, and she just was like, she's like, "Ah," like, I was like, "Oh
yeah,
my
yeah,
god."
yeah.
Yeah,
So
she's
she
stunning.
can she can be the role model for like the perfect people. I'm like the voice for the imperfect people that have fucked up and are like have fun in their life and are just kind of like, you know, normal college girls who got a job and
And what
so
are you, like, 22 years old? Like, why would anyone expect you to be a role model? You're just out of college.
yeah. I'm 25. I'm just like, you
Same
know,
thing.
yeah.
You're a child still. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that's really silly, the expectation that just because you go viral over a couple of videos that you should be a role model, or that I mean, you're just one person, so that's a lot of pressure to put, uh, on somebody right away. But I think it was more so you're pretty, you're getting a lot of attention, you're getting on shows. Maybe people who have been like working and trying to get on shows for years, they get jealous and they go, "Okay, how do we take this person down because we see them as a threat?" Even though I don't think anybody should be compete. You're only in competition with yourself. So if anyone's threatened by you, it's because of they're just their own insecurities.
Right. I did think that was a little bit odd because I was like, wait, aren't we all like in this together, right? Like we have all isn't our main goal to like try to fix America? But apparently that's not how it is.
Oh my god. No, a lot
At
of it
all.
is just a popularity contest. Did you have this idea that people were reaching out to you to kind of like are people saying like incentivizing you to be more for a certain idea or idea or like group of ideas than something else? Like you
Well,
mentioned like I don't want to read a script.
right. Well, the worst part is that there's not that many incentives. So I'm like, geez, if I'm going to read a script, at least I'd like to be paid for it. But a lot of these people, it's just kind of like they want you to trumpet their agenda. You know what I mean? And that just, I don't know. I don't like that. That's like, it just not, that's not fun,
In
you know?
in exchange for what though?
Basically, just like this agenda, this is the best, you know, this is going to change the country. We want you to say this, you know, and you'll be
Wow.
part of our, basically. But yeah, it's very weird. It's very
So
odd. I don't,
not for money, just saying like, be
well,
with us and say
the
these bullet
problem is
points.
like everybody, people think I'm making so much money off this. I'm like, this isn't the worst grift if there ever was one. But yeah, people don't want to like. People do kind of want to rip you off. They don't really want you to pay you, and then they want you to like do all this work for them. So I've kind of just like backed off, where I'm like, I don't want to be associated with anyone because A, it's not like what I agree with. B, I don't want to do what you tell me to. And C, you're not even wanting to give me a good deal, you know? So
Is it like, oh, if you make a couple of social media posts saying like XYZ or focusing on one idea, will have anybody offered you money for like posts or
no money. But it has been like people like, well, this is kind of who we are and whatever, and we think it would be really great if you could just kind of promote that. Like I'll promote something if I agree with it, but if it's something I like don't really understand, it's a little bit murky, and I'm like, I don't really get what's going on here, then no, I'm just gonna avoid.
so you don't want yeah, you've had like groups and you don't have to say who they are, like reach out for you to be, hey, be attached to us and you can be like
Yeah,
under our wing
yeah,
and then uh wow.
kind of weird, honestly, but you know, it is what
It
it
is.
is.
It does feel I mean, I never my college did not have, sororities or fraternities. We had sports though, and, when I was going out, I was a springboard diver in college, and, when
Oh, that's
they
cool.
didn't have, like, rush, but they would kind of initiate the freshmen, and they gave us, many shots of Majorska vodka, and I remember smelling it, and I was like, "I feel like this could take the paint off my car," and I would just
Uh-huh.
I would every other shot, like, when I would take and weren't looking, I would put it in the house plant, and I just was like, "'Cause
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna die. They're gonna throw
Oh
me in the
yeah.
Long Island Sound, and I'm not gonna come out." Um, I had a point. The point is, yeah, this does feel a lot like Rush, like, "Ooh, you're like this new girl, like, on the scene, who's gonna grab you up?" It does seem very high school.
Hmm. It is. It's I don't think people ever grow up, you know. And maybe it's because
No.
we're like tribalistic, so you'd like to have your team or whatever. But yeah, I get it. It's whatever. But I kind of like to just, you know, stick to myself. I honestly, I'm like kind of people. I guess I have so many enemies because I don't like most people. I would just rather go home and do my own thing, you know.
Yeah.
And
Do you feel, Lily, like the Haktua girl has stolen some of your spotlight?
I mean, more power to her. I hope she makes something of it. To be honest, I think it's awesome. She's funny. You know, she's got a good attitude.
She met Shaq. She was on stage with, God, at some country concert,
Oh, I saw that. Who is he? What was it? Zach Bryan?
I think so.
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
You should show that to your brothers, be like, "Look, this could have been me, and I could have helped your music career."
Yeah. She went about it in a better way because nobody wants to be associated with somebody who's considered racist. So I'm like, you know what I mean? Like she's got a
What?
better.
Who are these people? Come on, you're not hanging with the right people. I have tons of racist friends.
I'm not even racist though. That's the funny part.
I know, and that's the thing is the people who joke about it are the least racist people,
Oh
and
yeah,
that's what
absolutely.
the internet sometimes doesn't get.
Mm-hmm. I know. I just want people to be able to say what they want, and it's not a big deal. Like it needs to go back to like how it was in the '80s and even the '90s, where people could just have jokes, and enjoy their life and say whatever they want, and not feel like they're gonna get in trouble for every second word.
I'm seeing a lot of comments in the chat, people think that you're a psyop. Why is this something that's going around? Or let you're some sort of spy, Jewish spy, I've heard. Not even I don't even
Yeah,
know what that would be.
I don't even know. Like, I mean, I have no idea where that came from. I assume it happened because like everything blew up so fast. So people are like, well, that's not possible. Like can't be
Oh,
organic. It has to be Mossad or doing it. But then I was thinking the other day, I was like, that's the psyop. That's a way of like discrediting people just because they accidentally go viral all of a sudden and be like, don't listen
right.
to anything she has to say because it's fake. Like y'all are the psyops, not me.
It doesn't not that it doesn't take much to go viral on TikTok, but it's set up in such a way that you get like exponentially more views than you would
Yeah.
on other apps. What do you think, Lily? What is the biggest misunderstanding about you that you'd say?
Um, I would say the grift thing because, like, this wasn't the plan. Like, it kind of just blew up, and happened. And now I'm just kind of like, and you know what I do find stupid is like people are like, oh, she's just in it for the money. I'm like, dude, I've blown up
What
any other chance.
money?
What?
What
First of all, what
money?
money? What fucking money? I've made no money on this. Like, first of all, what
Like
money?
maybe Twitter. I mean, I think you and I have almost similar amount, and I get maybe $100 from Twitter
Oh,
whenever
right,
they
the Twitter
pay
thing.
out.
It's
It's
basically nothing. Like people
yeah.
think you are. I think people have this conception that you like rake in the dough from social media.
It's nice, it's something,
Yeah,
but I'm not you're no one's putting a roof over their head with their Twitter money. Maybe
no,
some people are.
no. Like thank God I have savings. But yeah, I would say the grift thing's retarded because it's like, first of all, I've made no money at this, and second of all, like the people like throwing me under the bus and just being like, oh, she just wants to make a career and make money off this. I'm like, that's what you're doing. Like, what else would you suggest I do? Go panhandle on the street? Like, I have a family to feed, and since I've been thrown into this world, I'm like, all right, let's just see if I can, you know, do something for the country and just keep on doing what I was already doing. And if I can figure out a way to like make money off it too, awesome. But like, I don't see how that's like a bad thing. Like, it's either that or try to go get a fast food job.
If you right, if you want to be, I guess, a culture commentator or a political, like, talking head or something, like, uh, if you're doing it just for attention's sake, that's people will find that out pretty quick. You'll be like a
Right,
flash in the pan, and then you'll kind of simmer off, and
right,
maybe some people think that's what you are, but again, like, you're still in your moment, and you have time to figure out what you're gonna do with this, and,
right,
if anything, like, nobody goes to school to just be a like, an online personality.
right.
There's
I know.
no
It's just
there's
one of
no
those
path
things.
for it.
Yeah, like I would be saying these things regardless of whether I had a platform or not. Like I was saying these things when I had my TikTok and I had like just a few followers. But it's just like one of those things. Like I think a lot of people think I just decided to become a conservative for this or whatever. And I'm like, y'all, I have always been like this. I just happen to have a platform now. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah, and I think there's funny even if you had, like, a regular well, you did have a regular job, you would be saying this stuff, like, if you got close with some like, a buddy at the office, you'd be
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
I usually in all my jobs, like, always found at least one person to kind of, like, joke to on the side.
Yeah, you have to like suss them out. That's
It
the,
takes
that's the
months.
first
Yeah.
phase.
It's like it's a flash in the pan and simmer off. I'm thinking about food, Erica, that's what it is. Because 'Cause I'm thinking about how I don't cook. And but I can clean. So,
That's
and
good.
I can fold. I can do Asian folding. I read Marie Kondo's Tidying Up, and I really like perfected my folding.
That's good. See, you're the opposite of me. I like to cook, but I hate the cleaning up process.
I would so much rather clean up after somebody else cooks. It's like satisfying to do. Oh my god, what was I gonna ask you about? Oh, I watched a couple people's like videos on you, takes of you, and one was so funny. This guy was like, "We shouldn't give Lilly any attention." I'm like, "You're literally doing a video about her, you retard." Like
I
you're
know.
what the way if you really think she shouldn't get any attention, then don't mention her. Don't title your video Lilly Gaddis is 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah. I don't even watch those videos. They're so stupid, and like I'm just like, I don't even care. So I basically
That
watched none of the hit videos because they're all dumb, and I'm like, how are you guys are so retarded? You act like you know me. I'm like, you have no
it's
idea who.
it's fan fiction. They're like, who do I? They'll just create someone in their mind, and they want to be
Yeah,
they want like you're kind of new-ish, I guess in terms of like internet content. So they go, oh, I'll write the story of Lilly, and you know what? You
right.
just have to tell your own story and tell these people to fuck off.
Yeah,
Rupert the Octopus says, fact, women who say N-word have gone up massively in stock value on the dating market. Aw.
oh
Rupert, you
no.
single? Love you guys. Thank you for the chats. Thank you for the comments. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Bye. All right. Love you guys. God, I don't even want to leave. This candle smells so good. I don't want to leave. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye. Love you all. Join the Discord. Feet. Love you all. Wow. You guys are awesome. Come and get it. Bye, guys. Bye. Now I'm really leaving. Love you. Bye.